Warm welcome to Business Daily right here on Trust Television. I am Yusuf Akogu. Let's take the business top stories. To have you back. Another milestone again crossed by the Nigerian Stock Exchange yesterday as the all-share index crossed 73,000 basis points for the first time in the history of the market, and of course the market cap also crossing 40 trillion naira as well. Let's give you those figures as it went down yesterday. 1.28% in terms of gain was actually recorded yesterday. If you look at the market cap, 73,397.71 basis points. This is the first time that Nigerian capital market is hitting this height. Of course, the market cap as well crossing 40.2 trillion naira is another first time as well. We talked about this yesterday. We projected that probably before the end of the year we were going to get here, but lo and behold, here we are, and of course it's probably going to surpass that before the last trading day of the year. Of course, the volume of trade yesterday, 554.644 million, value at 12.829 billion naira in a deals of 7,910 actually happened yesterday on the floor. Let's look at the top gaining equities. Of course, the key drivers have the multiverse did very well yesterday. 10%, a very huge gain, you will say, to close at 11 naira and 55 kobo per shares. Of course, Transcorp also not doing badly as well. 10%, the highest gain, one of the highest gainer for the day, 7 naira and 70 kobo per share. And of course, Infinity, they have been there, is a mortgage bank. They have been there for a very long time. Doing so well with a lot of buying interest from investors. 9.97% it recorded there as well. Loser side, you have the like of Tantalizer losing 10% to close at 45 kobo per shares. Of course, Thomas Swart also down 9.86% to close at 2 naira and 65 kobo per share. Of course, we have TPLC also recording 9.32% to close at 1 naira and 7 kobo per share. Let's look at the activities table. The market movers, of course, apparently the banking sector taking the lead. Guarantee Trust Holding, the mother company of Jitco, 89.5 million volume of its shares were traded yesterday. Access Holdings as well, 59.7 million as well. Of course, Transcorp Nigeria, another big conglomerate quoted on the exchange, 52 million volume of its shares were also traded on Wednesday. Impressive performance, you say, from the banking sector, and we can see that being reflected in the market performance. Let's look at the sectoral performance, really. Of course, the banking sector, 0.75%, one of the biggest gainer. The industrial sector is also strong, 0.11%. The consumer good index, 0.23%. The oil and gas, 0.05%. Of course, the insurance sector, obviously the biggest gainer, 0.83%. Impressive performance, you will say, from that segment of the market. Let's look at the rest of Africa and see what is happening in Joburg. It's all green on the continent today. We've seen in Joburg is there 0.07%, a marginal gain. In Ghana, 1.96%, almost 2%, a record gain for GSE, a market not so far away from Nigeria. And in Nairobi, Kenya, 1.05%. It seems to be all green today in Africa. Impressive performance there, you will say. Let's quickly talk to a stockbroker, of course, who is joining us from Lagos, Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting Limited, Ambrose Omodion. Good morning, Mr. Ambrose.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you. Talk to us. Impressive performance we are seeing a gain from the market yesterday. First time the market is crossing 73,000 basis points.
Yeah, good news for Nigerian investors and also those that play Nigerian markets for me. But if you look at the history of our market, for the last 4 years, our markets have been on a positive trend post the COVID-19 era. And as a result of what impressive performance of a listed company and also high payouts of Nigeria stock. But this year, we see that government policy from the month of May triggered the market to where it is now. For that same policy is what we are waiting to see that if we sustain momentum in the new year. Because after the removal of subsidy and the reduction of the exchange rate, we saw a good relative happy for the market that attracted inflow into the market. For another thing that has supported the market in this trend, like you just said that this is the first time our market is hitting 73 marks and up. It's because of institutional investors in the market that are not selling because equity space looks more attractive compared to other fixed income markets. Because as we speak now, because inflation is on the high trend, I see that price of equity are also moving in that proportion so that they are ahead of what inflation. For that, people are putting more interest in equity space. That you are seeing that more volume and money is flowing into equity because of that opportunity to hedge against inflation. Don't forget that the last inflation rate was around 28.2. For that alone, the market has returned almost 43.21. So the market is ahead of inflation. For that, people are looking in more equity to hedge against inflation in Nigeria. I'm not telling you that today, Nigeria market is one of the best performing markets across the globe. Meaning that our market, that's why there is a disconnection from our economy and our market now. And not forget that anywhere in the world, the equity market has the blood of its own. Now I see that our market is not reflecting in the economy today. So it's a matter of time. If it lingers, it might start reflecting on the market. But as we speak now, market is operating on its own, and that is good for our market for today. But government monetary policy and cash policy to come up to support the market going to the new year, 2024.
All right, interesting there, Mr. Ambrose. You talked about the government policy being one of the key driver of the market. Why the market is benefiting from the government policy, the larger economy seems to be suffering.
Yes, like I said earlier, that market has its own blood. The blood of market thrives on what? On expectation, perception, and sentiment. Because we are seeing that where the government is going, that's why if government fails to perform, the perception and sentiment will start dying. That's why I said, that's why the market is operating on its own. We need government to be consistent and also supplementary to what they want so that we can see that consistency in their policy. But now, because that have put the expectation, the perception of the market to this level, if they fail to continue that direction, market also will respond to what they're saying. But as we speak now, it's a separation between the market and the economy because the market is giving investors higher money to say in the field where there is high inflation. As I said earlier, that the price version of what is happening in the inflation market, equity is beating. That is why people are looking at equity to hedge against inflation.
Interesting there. Predict for us today how you expect the market to close and of course the outlook for 2024.
For me, I said market to extend the rally started last week today. That is as a sort of investors reporting their portfolio against 2024. So like you just said, 2024 will be a big step because the CPI Latinos are inside that. They're likely to work at least for the 2 quarters in 2024. And when you high rate, automatically to put the economy in a tight corner, and that also slow down the market in 2024. But I believe that the banking sector has opportunity in 2024. And any investor that is building some banking sector take their position and wait. But I believe that 2024 will deliver value for the Nigerian investor.
So you're not expecting profit taking in 2024?
No, it will come, but it's not going to be a good now. It's going for market correction. Market it will for 1 week or 2 weeks. But when there's a turn, a market that is a fear. Profit taking is part of the market in the world. When you take profit, we come back again. But when there's a grand turn, that is where fear will come. And that will come if the government fails to make policy that support what they've done before now. But that's why market time will work on policy expectation that also drive that sentiment. If government fails to work the policy direction where they are going, that's where market will go down. But if we want to see where they are going, the market appreciate it, market to remain up. And the profit taking will come and go, but not a total pull down or a downturn.
Okay, Mr. Ambrose, before I let you go, you talked about Nigeria market being one of the best performing markets in the world. What makes you think so, or why are the interests of foreign investors diminishes in our market?
Because one, they are looking at what on a position. But before now, don't forget that when the market crashed in 2008, that is where foreign investors have access to our market. Before they came, they were in our market before. But when market crashed, Nigeria was because of fear, they came out to the market. But after COVID-19, they left the market because they thought that COVID-19 followed Nigeria. For a local investor now came in. That's what I think pension fund, buy Nigeria. That's what I said in the market. During the election, anywhere in the world, when the election was fierce, before when a foreign investor in our market, in the election, our market will go down. But look at the last election, our market was still because it's being played by local investors. And that local investor understand the Nigerian market. That's why the attraction is that if a foreign market continue to cultivate next year, they'll come back to Nigeria market because when cultivate, there will not be interest for them to get their country. If you're looking at elsewhere, where there's what, then we're not in a high risk. What Nigeria CBN decides to do by what open up rates next year, because if the US, UK, and the EU start cutting rates, if they are bringing their money to Nigeria, whatever there's risk, they come and invest here. That's why we don't panic, but there will be profit taking, little correction, but not the total figure for Ghana. Why? All the investors across the globe were leading investors. I don't think of return year to date, not what other things. Return in the market year to date, both US and the EU, all of them, Nigeria market is leading them to see it now.
All right, finally, before I let you go, Mr. Ambrose, you talked about, the participation of domestic investors, which is around over 90%. Is it a question of if the foreign investors are not coming, let us support our market?
No, if they're not coming, there's no fear. That means we can plan effectively with our market. And if it's what our regulators should encourage, let's encourage more Nigerians to come and play the market. Because if Nigerians are not playing the market, we can plan with our market. We cannot save the market for the future. Because foreign investors, when they come, they are portfolio investors. They can come to the market to go because they are pulling by market fund down. But now that we see for 4 years, we are not in the market. Our market has been stable for 4 years. Green. It's a good thing for Nigeria market. The regulators and the government should do more to encourage Nigerians to play more, to encourage more listing on the exchange. We use a lot of incentive to attract more people to do business in Nigeria so that they can be listed on the exchange. There's more market for us. Government needs to play a major role because if they want to use the market to drive the economic growth, we need to make the market attractive.
All right, Ambrose Omodion, I must thank you for your time. Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting Limited. I must thank you for your time on Business Daily today. We appreciate your contributions.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so with that, we'll go on a very quick break now. When we come back, the show continue.
Why did you develop this reputation as somebody who is difficult to work with?
I will tell the truth. No matter whose ox is gored, I will say exactly how it is.
This is why I actually sympathize with commissioners of nowadays, where a commissioner sometimes is just a picture. You find somebody, even a cleaner and the governor's wife, can interfere with their abilities.
Even the ministers, there are very many who respected me, simply because I never complained about them. I never went to ask for a favor. Never.
So none of that has happened?
Nothing.
But if it hasn't happened, do you have hope that now another government coming in?
There's no hope.
So you've given up
I've given
politics?
I've given up. It's gone, it's gone.
Retrenchment from work is the most hated thing by unions. It's a loss of job. Means that is loss of life, in fact, for civil servants at that time.
Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's security, Nigeria's intelligence. This is what the materials we were handling. And I thought government would be very interested.
The reasons why you adopted federalism is not because of finesse, not because you like it. It's because of its functional utility.
Are you interested in the latest news and developments in Nigerian politics, policy, governance, and other critical national issues? Look no further than Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our panel of experts and key people in government provide in-depth analysis and commentary on the biggest stories in Nigerian politics.
And 33.3 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. It's a much calmer Buhari than the Buhari who was in the khaki uniform.
Naira to Naira X rate is higher anywhere in the world. The Naira is higher than dollar exchange rate. So you want to...
This central bank governor you're doing, you must do it fast. The number of casualties we have had, we shouldn't have had. Security, as far as Nigeria is concerned, we have wronged.
From the inner workings of government to the latest on legislation, rule of law, implementation and democracy, we have you covered. Don't miss out on the latest political news and discussion. Tune in to Daily Politics, weekdays on Trust TV, your source for reliable and unbiased coverage of Nigerian politics.
Glad to have you back. It's the Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Quite a whole lot is happening in the polity. Part of the decisions taken by the federal government yesterday is, of course, a 5% discount on transportation for Nigerians willing to travel for this Christmas. It's another impressive development there. You will say, well, it depends on which angle you're actually looking at. A lot of people have come out, the NLC inclusive, to criticize that directive yesterday. Well, quite a whole lot. Why? You will say why some are criticizing. Of course, some are as well, supporting that move as well. Another very worrying concern yesterday was the the release from the DMO, Debt Management Office, that has now put Nigeria debt profile at 87.91 trillion naira. That is a huge number from what we had in the past. Of course, if you look at according to the statement from DMO, the debt profile has increased by about 0.61%. That is compared to its 7.38 trillion naira recorded at the end of June 2023, when this government was very new in office. So in the couple of months now, we've had an increase of 1.8 for it's 1.8 trillion naira there, based on the figures we are actually getting from DMO, the Debt Management Office. If you look at the amount of money that the government voted to service debts in the 2024 budget, is a huge amount. A lot of people have come out to criticize that. Why are we voting over 8 trillion or thereabout to service our budget? So it's a very huge amount, and we're seeing the debt keep increasing on a very high side. We're talking about the domestic debt that has increased by 1.8 trillion naira, while the external debt are also reduced. Surprisingly reduced from 4.16 billion as at the end of June 30, 2023, to now stand at 41.59 billion at the end of the third quarter. So this is why one is increasing, the other one is indeed reducing. But this reduction, how significant it is, or it look marginal to some people will say, because when you're talking about reducing your foreign debt, especially, it has to be very, very significant, because what we have here is still way above our foreign reserves, and of course even the national budget, 2024 budget that was presented to the National Assembly a couple of weeks ago as well. So if you compare 43.16 billion naira and you convert it to the current exchange rate, whether you're using the black market or you're using the official CBN exchange rate window, you know that this is more than like nearly 2 years budget for Nigeria. So quite a whole lot of worrisome and disturbing situation there for Nigeria as well. So when you go down, you see that the reduction really compare based on what we have is just around 500 million euro. The external debt decreased due to the redemption of 500 $100 US, the Euro bond, and of course the payment of 413.859 million as a principal payment of a $3.4 billion loan obtained from the International Monetary Fund in 2020 during the COVID-19. So quite a whole lot of worrying circumstances, you will say, with regards to Nigeria debt ratio. So when that statement came out yesterday, a whole lot of reactions, trailing that why Nigeria debt, is actually standing at this, a huge level. So we will hope and actually pray that in the coming days, a lot will be done by the federal government to see how they can actually lower our domestic debt, as the case may be. So when you were talking about when the economy is having this same issue, the debt is going high, the inflation numbers are high, the exchange rate is not, doing so well. But again, if you go to the capital market side, of course, the situation is different. You see a capital market that is standing alone away from the larger economy. If you look at the market that opened at the end of the year with just merely 27 trillion naira in terms of market cap, that has grown now from that 27 trillion to over 40 trillion naira. That is a huge number. The first time our market cap is actually crossing this line. So a whole lot of, so much optimism in the market. Investors' interest is so very high, but you can't say the same thing in the larger economy. But of course, a lot of people have said that with so far the new CBN governor is yet to hold monetary policy committee meeting. Maybe by the time we have the meeting comes up, there's a monetary policy committee meeting, decisions are being taken. We'll see how this is going to affect the fiscal policies and so many other things that of course need to be addressed for us to have an economy that supports all Nigerians. Because as it is right now, the inflation number is high. Nigerians planning to celebrate Christmas will actually tell you that they are not really finding it funny. So it's actually a very difficult situation now for Nigeria, and quite a whole lot needs to be done by this government to alleviate their suffering. A lot is in place based on what we have had, but again, the Nigeria will begin to actually understand that what you have put in place when they start to feel it. Feeling what is in place is different from actually, hearing what is in place. Just like yesterday, as it was announced yesterday, that the government will indeed, give subsidy in a way, or whatever you may call it, in terms of transportation. Those that want to travel, if you're traveling using buses, of course you have a 50% discount. But for those using train, of course it's actually zero. You're not paying anything. So you go to the train station, and of course you present, show your ticket, and of course wherever you're going to, if you're going to Kaduna, if you're going to Kano, Zaria, and so many other places, you present your ticket to them, and of course they take you free down to your destination. And when you're coming back, it's actually the same way. But a lot of people have said that, look, we don't need subsidy on transportation. Give us food. Give us subsidy on food. You're telling us to travel when we don't have something to eat. And some are also saying that we may not need this subsidy, because what we need is indeed, if you reduce the cost of fuel, of course the cost of transportation will come down. So different stroke for different people. We'll see how that pans out at the end of the day. A lot of people are beginning to actually, reading a lot of meaning into it as to whether this is going to be another, maybe, I don't know, will create another avenue for some people, to corrupt the whole, to help themselves with government funds. So that is left for the authority in charge, the ICPC and the EFCC, to actually monitor the disbursement and of course all of these things. But for us right here, we are actually monitoring the situation at the bus station, at the train station, and of course to know the compliance of all of these things as is happening. Of course, quite a whole a whole lot is happening around the economy, and we will continue to bring you all the update that you need to know right here on Business Daily. Quite a lot of issues that you will say. Well, it's quite on that note that we will wrap the show today. Unfortunately, my guest was unable to make it here, but again, we hope that we'll get him next time to respond to some of the issues that we actually, have. With that, we wrap the show today, and you join us again tomorrow for more. I am Yusuf Akogu.